Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mings, and today I have a very cool match to show you, because this matchup can never be recreated organically on the cartridge. Grimm vs. STURM. You can never play this matchup, because Grimm was introduced in Dual Strike, and STURM was not part of Dual Strike. He was replaced by Bolt. So you can never play this matchup even if you wanted to. You can only play it on Advanced Source by web. Now, of course, this is a very cool matchup because it's, of course, the Firepower CO versus the Defense CO. Grimm gets increased Firepower, reduced Defense, whereas STURM gets increased Defense and reduced Firepower. Now, fun little fact about STURM, when you face him in the Advanced Wars 1 campaign, he actually has the exact same day-to-day bonuses as Grimm. It's not listed in his dossier because they're hidden in that game, but STURM actually has 30% extra Firepower and minus 20% defense when you fight him in the campaign. Which is kind of funny. Just led a lot of people to say, or joke around, that Grimm was actually STURM. That's why they're not in the same game! He just took off his mask and it was Grimm all along. Wouldn't that be a nice little twist? So yeah. And of course, it is our good friend Grimm guy playing against STURM. I picked this game because this is something I haven't seen before. It's Grimm guy playing High Funds. That's why he's going up against STURM in the first place. STURM would be banned in any standard map, but he's sometimes allowed. Actually, that's not true. There's a few fog maps that STURM is allowed on. But in High Funds, he is very often available. So, Grimm guy's opponent isn't like terribly strong or anything. He has 976, is a little lower than you'd usually expect, but I just picked this matchup because it's hilarious. It's Grimm versus STURM in High Funds. I mean, this is kind of bonkers. Of course, if you don't know Grimm guy, he is a legendary player, only plays Grimm, has a rating of 1435 right now. I'm paying attention to this matchup right here, Grimm guy versus Poland, classic grudge match, looking forward to casting that. These two players are currently duking it out on a map called Primordial Truth. As I said, it's High Funds, Global League. This is a cool little map, I like it. It feels like mixed base. It's not really mixed base, but the bases are pretty far apart. So you have this like little river here that separates them. You have very contested comm towers. These comm towers usually ping-pong back and forth quite a bit. These two players would love to get some comm towers. I think Grimm really would enjoy that, because here's the thing. He does have high firepower, but STURM's defense is pretty considerably high. Like 20% extra defense is really insane. And I do believe these day-to-day bonuses sort of cancel each other out. If we take a look at two infantry going up against each other, if we make this like an Andy mirror, you see 54 to 64. But if we turn it into Grimm versus STURM, you can see 57 to 64. It is actually pretty comparable. 52 to 63. They really do cancel each other out. Of course, the big difference is STURM has free movement and, in my opinion, a much better power. Of course, he can't proc it that often, but it's High Fun, so he will get it. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to watch this matchup that I've never casted before. Grimm versus STURM. Let's put on some appropriate Grimm guy music. Yeah! Let's go, baby! So, Grimm guy versus Joey Jaboy. I'm just gonna call him Joey Boy. STURM, of course, has a massive advantage in the capture phase of this game. He can dart across rivers, he can dart across mountains, he can get a lot of those properties which are really hard to get. Whereas Grimm guy has to sludge his way through the heavy terrain. Grimm guy opens up with a little tanky right here. He's gonna go on the offense against STURM. It's very smart to open tanks against STURM because, of course, what does STURM love to build? Exactly. I knew it was coming. The Recon. The STURM Recon. It is the bread and butter of his early game offense. Of course, they don't hit that hard, but it doesn't matter. They're super fast. And against Grimm, they will actually hit sort of hard. So you need tankies to fend off against the STURM mirrors. Grimm guy going aggressively for the comm tower here. I actually think this is very smart. I think the reason Grimm guy is going for the comm tower is because he realizes the STURM can build recons and deny them. But if he goes for the comm tower right away, it's a lot easier for him to hold on to it. So he's actually foregoing early properties to get that comm tower early against STURM, and I actually think that's very smart. Because once those recons are out, Grimm is never ever going to get that comm tower, so at least this way, even though he's sacrificing a little bit of early game economy, he ensures that he will have that comm tower against STURM, which is very smart. And of course, he also moves out with a bunch of tanks to ward away the recon. So Grimm is playing excellently against STURM right here. Grimm guy knows what he needs to be careful about. He has the com tower. That's one extra com tower. 40% day-to-day firepower. That's going to turn through that STURM defense. But yeah, Joey here opens up Battlecopter. I'm not terribly fond of STURM Battlecopters. The reason I don't really like STURM Battlecopters is they die to anti-air anyway, despite their 20% defense, and like STURM moves through terrain anyway, so Battlecopters aren't really that important. Like, they can still dart over mountains, I guess. It's not like STURM can move over mountains with his vehicles, but I don't know. I was never a big fan of Battlecopters on STURM. Battlecopters, bombers, fighters, just not what you really want to be focusing on. STURM is a ground CO. He wants ground units. You do want to add on a lot of vehicles, though. Even rockets can be viable in STURM's composition because of their movement. So, and you do need the indirects to punch through. And of course, Grimm doesn't have movement, so those indirects are incredibly important to use. So you can see income. Ooh, okay, interesting. So Joey right here, he's sending his recon over to attack this infantry. He's gonna lose it. In high funds, oh, okay. All right, okay. Joey being very aggressive here. Extremely aggressive. Another Battlecopter coming out. Yeah, he's, I think maybe he knows Grimm guy, and he's like, well, I'm not gonna let him slug me. I'm just gonna try and... It's interesting to see STURM go on the offense, I gotta say, like that. That's very interesting. But of course, Grimm guy picks up a free hit here. I don't know if you really want to be brawling against Grimm. Oh, that is still a one-shot. Even with the 20% defense, that is still a one-shot with the com tower. So that recon goes bye-bye. Anti-air comes out of Grimm guy right here. He has to have some kind of response to those Battlecopters. And Joey here, he's really getting feisty here. He's going to move out with his artillery. He needs to be careful, though. You don't want to brawl with Grimm guy. That is not a good idea for the most part. Neo tank coming out here on day 7. He's tanking up aggressively. I don't know why the damage come. Oh, this is just a bug with the sight. Let me just hide the sight a little bit so I don't spoil the match by refreshing. There you go. You just gotta refresh to make it go away. It really is that simple. There we go. Sometimes when you hit the refresh key, you see the results of the match briefly on the screen, which really annoys me. This happens several times during my casts, which forces me to like re-record them. Alright, ooh, Grimm guy just going for it right there. He's like, oh yeah, this is, you gotta be so careful, man. Like, your defense is not gonna hold up against Grimm. Normally a STURM player could get away with doing this, I think. But Grimm is actually one of the COs that just won't let you do it. Like, if you look at this, if we take any other CO right here, let's say we take Andy. Does he actually break this? Oh, this is a luck roll too, 61 to 68. So yeah, if this was Andy, this would not be feasible at all. Of course, Grimm does have 2 tanks, so I guess any other CO could have done this. It's just bad walling by Joey, but I mean, he is a much lower rated opponent than Grimm guy. So obviously, yeah, little flaws like this are gonna occur. But yeah, Grimm guy is like happy to brawl here. He's like, yeah, I will gladly take you up on this. Even builds an artillery against STURM. That is cocky. But I mean, Grimm guy has the skills to back up his confidence. So, and yeah, you can see these 2 COs when they attack each other. It is pretty much just like watching 2 normal COs fight because their firepower and defense bonuses actually do sort of cancel each other out. So it's a very weird matchup here for both of them, really. Like, Grimm guy is used to being able to punch through everything. STURM is used to walling everything. But against each other, it's just not really a thing. It's cool to see. Anti-air, 2 tanks, and a Battlecopter. Joey keeps building Battlecopters. I mean, it is high fun, so you do want high unit counts, but I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of Battlecopters on STURM, as I mentioned previously. Oh, Joey, man. Oh, he places his butt. Yeah, Grimm is, Grimm guy is, really taking this guy to school right here. You know, I selected this matchup because I thought, you know, despite being a 1000 MMR opponent, I thought maybe having like a 4-tier advantage would still make this match somewhat interesting. But no, Grimm guy is just clobbering this guy. He is really just clobbering this guy. Neo tank comes in here. Grimm guy has a Neo tank on his own though, so he's not really going to care about that. In comes the Battlecopter. Attacks the anti-air, but doesn't really neutralize it. Even a 7 HP Grimm anti-air will get the job done. Alright. Let's see what Grimm Guy decides to do here. He goes for the second com tower. Oh, Joey, you really don't want to let Grimm Guy have 2 com towers. That is dangerous, man. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. STURM battlecopters, they're just, even against the 7 HP anti-air, man, they still go down. Like, it's not really a thing. And Grimm Guy does love using battlecopters, and unlike STURM, I think Grimm is a perfect battlecopter commander because the battlecopters don't really care about reduced defense. They still die to anti-air anyway, and they don't take a lot of damage from anything else. And one thing that Grimm Guy always does with his battlecopters, which is so amazing to watch, is he uses them as shields. Look how he uses these 2 battlecopters to shield his other vehicles. So his opponent needs to have anti-air to break through here. And because STURM doesn't get any movement bonuses, like he moves quicker over terrain, but he doesn't have movement increases. There's really nothing he can do to catch those battlecopters out in the open. Now, Grimm Guy does get his artillery hit here, but he's still going to be able to do quite a lot of damage to this Neo tank. I think we're going to... Oh my god. Joey, you cannot let Grimm Guy get the second com tower. If you let him get 2 com towers plus a superpower, you are going to disappear. Oh my god, a fighter. Yeah, he's really going hard into the air game right here. Okay, good. He didn't let Grimm Guy get the second com tower. That would have been disastrous. But it might be disastrous anyway, guys, because Grimm Guy just popped his Haymaker. That's 100% extra firepower right there. 110, I think, with the com tower? Oof. No, I think it's, I actually forget. I always forget the exact values of Grimm's superpower. Let me actually bring it up. So, yeah, Haymaker is 90% with the boosts. So with the com tower, it is indeed 100% extra firepower. So yeah, STURM's defense is not really going to save him now, I think. This is going to hurt. In comes the Neo tank. Boom, one shot. Still one-shotting infantry. Battlecopter, still one-shots. Doesn't one-shot the infantry. But those battlecopters are basically mini bombers during this power right here. And yeah, he's interrupting the com tower. That's smart. Ooh. STURM just barely saves himself from being one-rounded right there. Oh, it's another one-shot. Yeah, this hurts, man. Alright. So let's see where the meteor lands, shall we? Zoom. Okay. Oh, the meteor interrupts his own capture. That's... Did Grimm Guy predict this? Wow, that meteor did a lot of collateral. Actually, it didn't. It just hit 1 infantry, but still. That's really funny. Alright. Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, out of all the units that could get hit, that's definitely... Oh, wow. Joey really wants this com tower. He really wants this com tower. He's going hard for it. And this is still a pretty scary ball to bust too, as Grimm right here. And there's the rocket. I was waiting for rockets. Like, honestly, as STURM, you want to add on rockets early, because rockets are really strong as STURM. Like, they can move around. They allow you to actually exert some pressure on the map. And you can see, I mean, like, Grimm Guy is very talented. And he's clearly a lot better than his opponent right here. But his opponent is still playing 4 tiers above him. And look, when you're playing that big a handicap, you need to constantly keep playing better than your opponent to even the scales. Like, yes, Joey is losing this. I mean, we can all see that. But here's the thing. Don't think that you're ahead just because you're ahead when you're playing a handicap like Grimm Guy's right here. Your opponent can easily start snowballing. Bomber, yes. Another rocket is nice, and I like more recons. He had to... I don't like that he shot with his rocket though, and base locking himself. He needs every unit that he can get right now. And these 2 captures are also incredibly reckless. Like, Grimm Guy's not gonna let you have those. And now Grimm Guy's gathering up in the center right here. Oh, this is gonna be scary. Joey moves out with his bomber right here. The rocket's coming into play as well. Building a transport copter. I guess he wants to get the city here. I don't know. Even on high funds, I think if you want to get this, you need to build it early. Like, this property generates 2k income per turn. The T-copter is 5k, and it takes several turns to get there. I think if you're gonna get that, you need to get it early. Megatank is nice though. I like tanking up. Megatanks are nice. Grimm Guy's gonna struggle to deal with those. I think if he pops his power, his Neo tank can probably deal with them, but only if it's out in the open. Like a STURM Megatank on a city is not gonna die to Grimm Neo tanks. But it looks like Joey was finally able to get his com tower. Grimm Guy got his though, so they're 1 com tower each now. And yeah, Grimm, this is what Grimm Guy does every time, man. Like, this is such a classic Grimm Guy tactic. He focuses anti-air, and he has battlecopters. He puts on so many battlecopters, and then he just focuses your anti-air down, and now there's nothing you can do. So against Grimm Guy, you have to keep your anti-air safe, and like you need to put your anti-airs in the back of your army, because Grimm Guy will focus those down, and with his high firepower, he can get to them very easily. And yeah, it is not a good time to be STURM here. I don't know why he attacked the artillery. It seems a bit weird to me, but... And now the Neo-tanks are coming in. They're not really doing a whole lot, though. They're just killing infantry. And at least this bomber... Well, there's a Grimm fighter here, so that's not really going to happen. And yeah, I think we're going to see another Haymaker, ladies and gentlemen. And this one's going to be even more ugly than the first one. Are we going to see a Haymaker, or is he just going to pop his normal power? Oh, it's not even... What? Oh. Okay, he just pops his Knuckle Duster, okay. He does that sometimes. Like, if Grimm Guy doesn't need to pop his superpower, he'll just pop his normal power instead. Because, like, he gets the one-shots he needs with it anyway, so, like, he might as well save for another power later down the line. I personally would have just popped my super here, just for fun. But Grimm Guy, always a very calculated player. Doesn't want to throw away any advantages that he may have gotten, so he just pops his normal power. No need to waste the power charge, right? And we get another meteor coming down here, probably this turn? Yes? No? No meteor? Is he saving it? I think he said... Oh, no, there we go. He just moved some units away first. And yeah, I mean, it hits a Neo tank and a medium tank. Pretty scary, but not really that big of a deal. Grimm Guy still has a massive lead. But it's high funds, man, so you can still pump out a lot of vehicles. But now Grimm Guy is focused on the second com tower, and yeah, he also has 25 properties to his opponent's 17. He might win a capture victory if this continues. Day 16 rolls in. Lots of vehicles coming in, but they're only picking off small fry. Grimm still has many of his big vehicles still in play. There is a mega tank here, though. Let's see if Grimm Guy can actually deal with that. Maybe he'll pop his superpower again. Let's see. I mean, it's on a plane. Is he gonna pop it, or will he save it? I think he's actually saving it. Yeah, he's saving it. He's isolating the mega tank. And now he's actually moving a lot of units down to the south as well. Day 17 rolls in. Grimm Guy's still not popping his powers. He's saving it, I think. I'm actually curious. I want to see if Grimm Guy pops his superpower and he attacks with a Neo tank into a STURM mega tank. It's still rough, but if that thing is on a road, it changes a lot. Then suddenly it actually becomes a worthwhile engagement. Yeah, as long as that thing is on a city, I don't see Grimm Guy taking it out. Not unless he has, like, bombers. Yeah, again, Grimm Guy he's playing safe. Like, I know I would have just charged in right now, but Grimm Guy is a calculated, cold player. He doesn't want to throw away a win just for the sake of being stylish. But his opponent, I think, is recklessly moving in right now. I think he's setting himself... I think now we'll see the Haymaker. Surely. Yeah, there we go. Haymaker with 2 com towers, ladies and gentlemen. Haymaker, that's 110% firepower. Let's watch the carnage. Oh, bye-bye goes the Neo tank. Bye-bye. 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 Oh, bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye. 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 Boom. He's still in it. He refuses to give up. There's another meteor strike, hits his own medium tank. That's not very good. Bro really wants to brawl with Grimm Guy. Can't blame him though. But man, that mega tank behind enemy lines is very cute. And there goes the rocket. Bye-bye goes the anti-air. Bye-bye goes the other anti-air. Grimm is cleaning house now. Oh, there goes the battlecopter. And I believe he's threatening the lab right now. Yeah, I think there's only one lab on this map, so Grimm guy will win next turn regardless. He doesn't have to mop up his opponent at this point. Yeah, I don't know if his opponent is aware of that, though. No, he's still in it. He's still fighting. He's still scrapping. But then he resigns, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was that was a match. My goodness. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know it wasn't one of Grimm guy's hardest opponents. May feel a bit unfair, but it was still a fun little matchup to cover. We don't always need to cover the most insane games. Like, sometimes it's just fun to watch a little chill game. But Grimm guy still played really well. I mean, yeah, sure, he was much better than his opponent, but at the end of the day, like, he's also playing a 4-tier disadvantage, which is kind of insane. But yeah, I mean, Grimm just busts through STURM's defenses, man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed this little replay commentary. Sorry for not posting it earlier. I'll do more in the coming time, for sure. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to submit your replays at mangsawbwreplays, replays@gmail.com. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!